What's going on? What's good with everybody? I don't know if anybody can hear me. Hold on, wait to get in the house. All right. I'm back. I'm welcome. Yeah, I was outside. I've been trying to come in at the scheduled time and everything like that. But nevertheless, we are here. I got a story to tell you about some things that I've been through. But I'm here. But I'm here. I've been hustling all day long, wondering what went wrong. But I'm here. But I'm here. But anyway, this here is just how the revolution of the game. Now listen, I respect the errors, but I just don't put these errors in front of everybody that I seen, even though there's our people um that that played before the players that I seen as well. Um Bob Cousy come to mind. I remember doing my due diligence, point guard, um, um, Pistol Pete, um, who was a scoring guard but can actually play point guard. Um, the evolution of the game has always been here. We always have scoring guards that's actually can score, but that played point. We always have that. Now you just see a way more evolution of them. Because Michael Adams, he was one that I could remember watching growing up. A scoring guard knows when to score. Chris Jackson was another one. Mahmoud Rauf. He was another one that comes to my mind who I used to watch growing up. That that was a point guard that I used to love. Mark Price, another scoring guard. So this evolution of scoring guard, that's we always have them in the era, but then possessions matter back then. Now it's too much. It's too many possessions. Now everybody, you can. It's just my opinion, honestly. I don't care. You can put any point guards in this era. You yeah, let me just use Russell Westbrook for instance. Russell averaged 10 rebounds. I don't think Russell Westbrook would get 10 rebounds in the nineties era or the '80s era. No. Do I think he get about 5 or 6? Yes. You know, um, John Stockton, another point guard that I love, a floor general, a Jason Kidd, another floor general that was lethal, who developed his game. See, a point guard, how I was taught, if I would have played, I didn't want to play because I grew up in the era that I played on the streets. Everybody knew I could play. You know what I mean? But everybody's that's T Price, that's T Price little bro. And people that knew me, they'd be like, dang little bro, that's big bro. No, he's not. T Price, my brother's name, I ain't gonna put his name out there, but it's my brother's name. They'll say my brother's name and they're like, nah, we know this dude. He's the oldest. Like my twin brother was taller than me. And I used to hear conversations that some of the family members had, my parents used to have, and they said I won't be as good as him. But I always used to work with my brother on his game, and he don't think that I remember that, but I remember he used to be like, "Hey, I gotta work on my handles, so I'm gonna have you play defense on me." Cause my brother knew I was good at moving my legs, moving my feet, and I had good lateral quickness, and I was quick with my hands too. I just didn't never want to be in that behind the. I never wanted to be in his shadow. I never forget my brother was trying to get me to go to the other high school in town. I was just like, he said, man, we can have both of the brothers could be out. Just be like, nah, man, I'm not feeling that, man. Like, you know, I somehow I kind of regret it, but hey, once the move is made, the move is made. Then I ended up going to job corps and playing out there. I was talking to my best friend about this last night. We used to play every night. You saw me in the gym. If I wasn't being the Bigs program, doing door and government, no matter what time I done that shit, cause the gym didn't close to 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So we got out of school at that time. I think it was 4 o'clock. I think, yeah, cause we had to be in yeah, cause we have lunch. Cause we had we got four. Cause we had roll call at 4:30, and then you had your and then you do your roll call, and then you have then you had your little we had our little free time. Cause I went to Flint Hills Job Corps. Um, we have our little free time, and I used to go straight to the rec first. See who was up in there. Play a couple of game of we have the homies was in there playing cards, dominoes, spades, pity pad, uh, pool, foosball. Um, Definitely pool was the shit. I used to say what's up to everybody down there. You know what I mean? And I was always in the gym. The T-Price, where you about to go? I was like, man, I stay in there for about 30 minutes. I'm like, man, it's almost lunchtime. Because after lunch, we got time because we have roll call at 7 o'clock. And our dorms was 7 o'clock dorm. So we used to go at 7 o'clock dorm. Before then, we had time to go eat, go shower. You shower if you want. Even in that, I always ate, and I already had my basketball clothes in my bag. And as soon as I got to the gym, we go play, we run, and we do our thing. And after we have our little roll call and dorm, from then we have 1 free hour after that. I just remember the days, man. We was always in the gym, man. I met some cats in Job Corps that was some monsters. That was some beasts. You know what I mean? But situations and circumstances, you know what I mean? Otherwise, everybody I went to Job Corps with, that I used to hoop with, you know, they were just like me, with just different backgrounds, different stories. But this is getting back to this point guard thing. When I also think of a point guard, I think of a Kevin Johnson. That was really nice. Um, Isaiah Thomas come to mind, definitely. I was talking about point guards. Gary Payton, um, Tony Parker. You can say what he want. That's a point guard, and he was a scoring point guard. Okay, but he still averaged a lot of assists. Rajon Rondo. Darren Williams was on his way. To me, Darren Williams was on his way, before injuries and all this other stuff. Because I was a big fan of Darren Williams because he went to Illinois because Bill Self recruited him with him and that looped ahead and ended up losing to North Carolina that year. So um and then when I also think of point guards, I think of Andre Miller. A lot of people don't know who Andre Miller is. Andre Miller went to University of Utah Utes. He played for the late great Nick Majerus, and his he played with Michael Doliak, and he played with Keith Van Horn. I forgot who they shoot guard was at the time, but they ended up losing to Kentucky. Andre Miller was to me is to me don't get his praise either. Um, think of a Nate Archibald, Tim Hardaway, uh, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson was definitely straight floor general. Um, for y'all young generation that know, Lenny Wilkins, Maurice Cheeks, uh, Rod Strickland, um, Fat Lever, uh, Nick Van Exel, a scoring point guard, but can pass. Sam Cassell. I gotta throw my Bibby in there out of respect too, cause Bibby was that nigga too. I ain't gonna lie, Bibby was nice. Um, I of course I can't forget about Dave Bean, um, the great Norm Nixon, um, even Kenny Smith. He was a good point guard in his right. Mookie Blaylock, um, Fat Lever, uh, even Stephon Marbury, in my opinion. Oh, I can't forget about Walt Frazier, Nate Archibald. Um, you got to throw Chauncey Billups' name in there too. Uh, I got to say Calvin Murphy too. Um, when I think of point guards, that's them the kind of players who comes to mind. Some of them I did see. It was just a different time and a different era. These point guards now is not like it is now. Not everybody get the scoring point guards. Back then, you got actually drafted point guards. The game was at another level. You know, that's why I always been saying this on Ticket Channel. A lot of these guards now they are shooting guards that happens to play the point, and it's so easy now to even get assists now to make it seem like you are a point guard because how much 3 pointers are in it that actually being shot in the game. At the end of the day, you got to put the ball in the hole. If you want to put Steph in there, yeah, because he did come in as a point, but he more of a scoring combo guard. Gilbert Arenas, he had his little time. Um, Let me think of somebody else who I could think on top of my head. Um, but the point guard was a leader, man. They led. They know when to score. They know how to put the teams. He's basically the other coach out there on the floor. Um, and all the great point guards who I mentioned, even the ones that I forgot about that I studied and I learned and did my due diligence. They had a high IQ. The assist to turnover ratio was top notch. The free throw percentage is top notch because when the game is on the line, you got to have the player to make the free throws.com. You're going to have to. Yeah, RIP to John Madden. Yeah, because he was the main reason why I played Madden back in the day when Madden was at. Because the last Madden I played was, um, damn, when was the last one? I think the last one I played was the one with Michael Vick. That was the last one I remember playing. Cause one of my favorite ones was the one where Brett Favre was on that bitch. Every one of them was nice though too. I remember NFL Game Day. A lot of people don't know them. Oh, us people that grew up on the generation of um hold on, I'm saving this address right quick. Salute to everybody that's in the chat too. Then the players who I grew up on, Iverson was um he was more of a two. He never played even when he was at Georgetown, he did, but um he was more of a scoring guard. Um but then again the evolution of basketball has really changed like um um like that's like my favorite point guard is honestly Magic, but he was 6'9" and everything like that. But from a short standpoint, there's a lot of them I used to like, and I already mentioned them already. Um, I can't forget about him either. The great Albert Robinson. The NBA, y'all need to put that man in the Hall of Fame. That man did time for a conviction that he didn't even do. You know, um, you could put James Harden in there because they said James Harden. He actually came in the league. I remember him when he played in college. He was at Arizona State. Um, you can mention in there too. You want to mention Russ? Oh, I can't forget about Oscar Robertson. You know what I mean? Jerry West. Um, like I said, the list goes on and on and on and on. And that's why I just can't personally just put somebody in this era over them. They great in their own right. Because at the end of the day, they did the time and put their work in and everything like that. You know what I mean? I just can't put them over players who paved the way for this era. Every era is different. And shout out to Mookie though too, man. Cause I was over there chilling over there, and shout out to that my boy Ghost Town too, man. It was good to hear from man. Cause I thought I was tripping when I was hearing Ticket Streams the last times I was able to get it. And and number one, if I'm subscribed to anybody's channel, and no matter who I'm subscribed to, I do not get y'all notifications. I unsubscribe and subscribe back to everybody, even the people who this is anybody who I follow. Period. That I like their content and everything like that. I get it all late, but I still do my due diligence to make sure I listen to everybody's stream. You know what I mean? I see everybody doing their thing and everything like that, big, small, especially the ones that starting off doing our own thing, man. You know, branching out, man, and talking that real, man. So salute again to everybody about that. My boy Jamor, salute to my boy Jamor. That's what I was just thinking about. I didn't think about his name, man, earlier, man. Jamor, salute to my boy Jamor. But that's what I think about point guard, y'all. That's what I think about point guards. Not just point guards, man. Um, I'm sitting there branching in my mind, thinking about what I could talk about and everything like that, and that what came to my mind to talk about point guards. And this is why I always say there's a difference of the point guards and shooting guards. It's way more scoring guards. John Morant, you know what I mean? I've been saying this. I remember I never forget this. I think that's when me and Trey was on the panel on ticket shit. I'm about to drop the link to again tonight. We're talking about point guards, not no small forwards. I could play point guard. Everything. I'm talking about somebody that plays point guard. Um, that's what we're talking about tonight, y'all. And salute to everybody, man. It is 5:09 out here in the West. And salute to everybody who was on the stream early. I was on 5 hours early. Salute everybody who came through, chopped it up and everything like that. Salute 3,000 degrees. Salute Aries, Herman Knight. Salute uh my boy PSN Tennessee is in the building. Tennessee is in the building. Salute Alex, what's good? My boy Greenleaf. You know, I was gonna say this too as I drop this link for everybody. Like tonight's of the show, man, is point guards. You gotta play point guard. You can't be small forward and all this. And I'm just gonna say this too. I'm so tired of this comparison of LeBron. I always said LeBron have a Carmelo body. And this is the thing. Y'all don't think I like LeBron. I actually like LeBron. But I just think that he left so much out there that he didn't seize the moment. And then he got his people in his media, ex teammates and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying, to hide the truth, you know. He don't come in this equation as a point guard. You dig what I'm saying? he's not a point guard. He's played small forward. That's why I don't like comparing small forwards to shooting guards because in especially any position, how you gonna do that? If you're gonna compare a player that played the same position as that player throughout their whole entire career, that's how it's supposed to be. Now everybody want to do it like this and like that. Cause when I was growing up, we didn't compare no player to no. We didn't compare shooting guards to no power forward, to no small forward, no point guard. No, we did point guard. We actually went and picked somebody that actually played point guard. Ain't no other position. That's how it's supposed to. That's how it was back then. I'm about to drop the link, man. And shout out to everybody though too, man. That was on earlier there, my boy, Mr. Moss, man, my twin brother from another mother. I'm about to drop it for y'all so we can. And we talking about what's up, JT, and we talking about point guards. Talking about they always want to talk about how much these players changed the game, but in my opinion, they always had scoring guards. They always had them. Cause let me just tell you, let me tell you another person that could play the point guard, but he could play but he ended up playing the two. Steve Smith. Steve Smith was 6'8", can handle the ball and everything, and could play the point. Penny. Penny was the same way. Y'all want to hop on in, man, and chop it up tonight, man. This is my last one I'm gonna do for the night, man. Now I'm gonna get up out of here because tomorrow I gotta um go back and be a man again. And shout out to Ticket, man, as well, man. I am listening to that as well in the background. He said, "Why can't James Harden play like this when it counts?" That's why I don't understand. But that I'll wait for the playoffs for that. So that's one thing about the playoffs. So you can right your wrongs and right your rights. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yo, yo,
Hey, this T Pratt.
yo, what's good?
Hey, man.
What's good? Yeah, we just talking about point guards tonight. We were talking about point guards. Talking about the evolution of the point guards. That's how I started off the show, mentioning the point. When I mention point guards, then the point guards who I think of. You know what I mean? I know how the game has changed now, but we always had these scoring point guards. Michael Adams was a scoring guard. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, Chris Jackson, he was a scoring guard. We always had Isaiah Thomas was a scoring guard, but
Hey, T Pratt.
we always had these scoring guards. Go ahead, bro.
I would like to. I I think that Russell Westbrook is the worstest scoring guard.
I agree with you on that.
Like at least the other scoring guards could like also get assists or like figure it out.
Hmm. And not only that, all the scoring guards that I mentioned too, you can coach them players too. Russell don't like to be coached. You can see this, and I said this on Ticket Channel. I said it on here. Well, you didn't want to listen to the great Maurice Cheeks, who played on the high level, who played on the 76ers. You didn't want to listen to him. I knew you was done. And look at let's just keep it real. Russell just been he just been the same player that he has been. Just it don't justify the move. And I'm like what Ma said earlier. It don't justify the move that KD left. I still don't like what KD did. But to me, I get mad at KD just like LeBron did.
See
But
what he made me do?
One thing about LeBron, what people fail to realize, I know we're gonna get back to the point guards though. Um,
You see
one
what he
thing
made me
about
do?
him, he did the same thing that KD did. KD did the same thing LeBron did. But only thing that the media don't like, he did it better. And by him doing it better, he got ridiculed a whole lot more. As LeBron, he had the excuses because he got the pull of the media. Now let's get back to this point
This what
guard.
I had to do.
Go
This
ahead.
what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through Kevin Durant withdrawals. You see me? What up, T Price and
Right.
Mons? This is Trey. I had to make me a
What's up,
burner
boy?
account so I come and talk about this nigga, man. Had to make me a burner account.
Yeah, I know that voice. I know that voice.
On the real. No,
Hey,
my
you
shit
got
just
me
died
because
on
I
me.
was cause I'm high as shit rocks. When I saw that
Hey,
last
look, I said
hey,
I'm about to
when I
come in
saw
here
that
on my
last night,
burner
well
account.
that last
About to come
last
in on
point
my
that
burner account on this nigga, man. Make fun of this nigga. I see why KD made one. We gotta come like this at this nigga.
Damn.
hey, but
Nah,
when you
but for
think
real
of
on
point
point guards
guards,
though, I think on I don't want to go back too far, like to where they was, like because I know you could probably start in history if you want to go and start dissecting the game on who you think was a scoring point guard. I'm gonna start a little later. Like I feel like two different point guard, like a scoring point guard to me, like that was I like Isaiah Thomas, like right. He wasn't really his like he could find an assist. He also got records in having one of the highest assist seasons. Like so, it ain't that he couldn't do it. The
mm-hmm,
thing was he had the perfect balance with it. He was more of a scorer in his mind, in his heart. Like he could score, but he balanced it.
mm-hmm,
To me, he balanced it perfect. Like Magic, it was more assist than scoring. But if you look at Isaiah, if I had to pick a point guard and say perfect balance, like the number one point guard for he's a scorer, but he also know how to give the ball. I'll have to go with Isaiah for my point guard. If you want to say a scoring mentality like guard, that's who I'm because he was a point guard. It wasn't like he was a shooting guard playing in a point guard body. He was a point guard that literally had the talent to score too. Like it just was like that. He didn't come in like a shooting guard and then they had to teach him nothing. No, I'm a point guard and I also know how to fucking score. So I have to
mm-hmm.
go with him as my favorite scoring like guard. Period. Like as on the point level.
Yeah, to me, it's so many of them because back in his era, there was a lot of people that can score and
Uh
get his
huh.
teammates involved, like the great Mark Price. People
Uh
forget
huh.
about that played for the
Yeah.
Cavaliers. He was a
Mm-hmm.
dog. He was a scorer, but he got his teammates involved. That's
Mm-hmm.
what them players did back in the day. The great
Kevin Johnson.
Yes.
Kevin Johnson,
Yes. That's my guy right there, KJ.
KJ. Oh, and
Mm-hmm.
KJ had one of the best commercials of all time with In Vogue
Mm-hmm.
promoting
Yeah.
his sneaker by
Mm-hmm.
Converse, and
Tim
AKA,
Hardaway.
and guess what he didn't do? He didn't put on a dress. Oh, I said Tim Hardaway. You naming names I already mentioned already.
Yeah,
But
that's what
go
I'm
ahead,
saying.
keep
You
cooking.
can just
Mark Jackson,
go. It's
the
most
late
like that's
great
what I'm
Mark
saying. Mine
Jackson,
gonna be all in the 80s and the
Yeah.
like 90s. That's all my
Derek
scoring
Derek
guard like
Harper,
that.
Terry Porter.
Terry Porter was a
Yeah.
beast too in his own
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I
Ron
mean, dude,
Harper. Ron
Harper
Yep.
Harper.
Before the knee surgeries. Yep.
injuries. Yep.
Yeah, before the knee
Even after,
surgery.
even afterward, he still for him to have the knee surgeries and still did what he did in his career. Man, that
Right.
was
Right. Right.
man, and that's man. And shout out to his son too. His son hit a buzzer beater too, by the way, on the number one
I
team at the
even
time
say,
in the
I
nation.
even say, I even say Jason Williams for how I seen how he turned his game around when he
Oh
became.
yeah, white
I even put
chocolate.
Jason
Yep,
Oh
Williams in
I
yeah.
there.
forgot
Okay.
about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I put
Mike
him in there.
Mike Diddy. Mike
I will
Diddy.
say the black dude,
Yeah,
Jason
Mike
Williams,
Diddy.
but he got into that motorcycle accident and he wasn't the same after his though.
Oh, okay. That J. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
that Jay was on his way, man. That he was the
Gary
only.
Payton.
Oh, I
Gary
said
Yeah.
Gary
Payton.
Gary.
Payton. Yep, I said
Gary.
Gary. Yep,
You could say John Stockton. That motherfucker
I
On
was
said
scoring
occasion.
your
Stockton.
ass
I
too.
Yep.
said Stockton.
On occasions, John Stockton. I agree with that.
Steve Nash. Shit, I put him
Hey,
in there.
I give it old. I
Yeah.
give y'all
Steve.
one that don't give it. I'll give y'all one who we all know about. Don't give his props. Andre Miller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Andre Miller.
Yeah, for them.
Stephon Marbury.
Yeah.
There's a few
Stephon
guys
Marbury.
like that.
Yep. Lenny Wilkins.
Yeah.
Tony
This
Parker.
This is who
Terrell
I said.
Brandon.
This is who I
Terrell
said.
Brandon. Tony Parker.
I said, the late great Dave Bean. Mookie Blaylock, Sam Cassell,
Muggsy
Mike
Bowe.
Bibby. Muggsy. I said Muggsy.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, OG? They go J Mac. Hey, J Mac. I don't drink the Modelo's no more, man. They too high, bro. They went up my arm and a leg out here now, bro. They be selling out in my store, man. They be I can't get them things no more, man. So I'm back to my E&J XO branded shit.
And I was saying, you talking about point guards like Kenny Smith was a scoring point guard coming out of college.
Yeah, you know he's a scorer.
Yeah, he was.
Guard.
Yeah, and when he got to the Rockets, that's when
he just wasn't asked to score on the Rockets like that.
Yeah.
That was his assignment.
Kenny Anderson was like that. But
I forgot about shout out to Kenny Anderson too. But no, I would just
Damon Stoudemire.
Damon Stoudemire too. I would
just coach right here
all
at
the point guards.
Did we say Penny Hardaway already?
He had scoring point guards back in the day.
Did we say
Ross Strickland? Ross Strickland was like
we didn't say Penny yet, bro. We
said Strickland. Yeah, I said Penny.
Oh, you said Penny? Okay.
When I very first started, I named
Ross
all the players.
Yeah,
but those guys, they can.
Damn, Miles, why I feel like it's like five? Why I feel like it's like 5 players we ain't said? Why I feel like it's like 5 players that we all know the hell about? Like if any one of us say, I mean like 5 of them too.
I know. I'm thinking.
I just feel it. Like it's somebody. They may not even be a star like that, but I feel like it's somebody.
Right. I'm going through all the teams in my head right now.
I ain't said him.
I'm telling you, y'all said some that kind of like woke me up, but I know we all.
I said Sam.
Yep. He said Sam Cassell. He said that. Mark, did we say Mark Jackson?
Yeah, I said Mark.
Did we say Mark Jackson? I gotta get Mark Jackson in there. Okay, I gotta give him that. I gotta give him that.
When I see Russell Westbrook, he's a 2-guard to me. He never.
Oh, that's who we missing, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Oh, you know we missing? I ain't gonna lie.
Who?
We missing that nigga. Damn, the Spurs. That little short motherfucker. They little captain. They call him the captain. No, not him.
Talking about Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson.
Yes, sir. Avery Johnson.
Okay.
Put some lack if you want to. Lack on Avery if you want to, and watch what he do.
He hit the game winner versus the Knicks in '99. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He's a scoring point guard because these point guards who can't score, you see what they're gonna do. Ben Simmons, they're gonna pass it still. I don't give a fuck what seconds going down. I'm passing it.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
That's one that I know. I see. I'm just saying, like that's what I'm saying. Like some that ain't stars, but they was just right there.
A lot of people played off Avery Johnson.
Agree.
They didn't trust the jump shot.
Those the guys that I think we're gonna name majority of, because in that era it wasn't too many superstar point guards. Like you know what I'm saying?
No,
the superstars they end up moving to like the shooting guard and up like a little bit.
Yeah,
y'all harping on the same.
Who else?
But that wasn't their job to be like a superstar. Their job was to facilitate.
Right. And get the
and that's what I'm saying. That's what kept them at bay to a point. Like, by them not being able to go 40 every night, and just sometimes you would see them go 25 or 30 because they probably just had to help out, or it was just their day. They wasn't looked at as a superstar because they just did what they were supposed to do. And if I need to do more,
exactly.
Let me ask my let me ask the OG. So, hey, J Matt, when you look back at players like like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, aka Chris Jackson, when you look at a player like Michael Adams, you know, that can score and all this other stuff, they was more of a scorer first, when they ended up playing point guards. Am I correct about that in your opinion?
Yeah. They weren't facilitators like that. Nah.
But they can score the ball. But one thing them players that didn't do though back then though, they didn't turn over the ball though, even though they was a facilitator. That's the only point that I'm making.
But my thing is this: like, if you go look at a lot of,
it comes to that IQ though. It comes to that.
If you look
at
a lot of true point guards back then, they might average like 7, 8, 10 points a game. They were getting things done on the. They were leading the offense.
Mark, those point guards didn't give a fuck if they didn't have no points, because they was looking at how many points everybody else had. How many I got you out there? How many I got you out there? That's what they was worried about.
They would get like 12 assists a game, having 12.
And that's the point. People don't understand understand that. I ain't gonna lie, I count that. I be telling niggas when we just play outside, I be like, if I count all my points, nigga, meaning whoever I help score, nigga, we gonna have a problem out here.
Counted for.
Yeah, I start counting another nigga point. I got mine 5 points. What the fuck you talking about? I really got like 12 out here.
like Magic might get like 10 or 12 points and they have like 13 assists. So that's 26
and
points.
I think what's that like a half a point? Ain't it like a half a point anyway when you get an assist? It's like a half a point to your average, I think, or something like that.
It's like, you're looking at they're getting like 20, they contribute like 26 points a game. Or
yeah, man, that's money, man. All that, especially if you leave. Back then they don't do it too much now, but back then the point guard, not the star, majority of the time, the point guard, the starter was out there even with the bench to get them points and to keep them going.
Hey, but another thing they had guys from the bench like Danny Young played in Portland. He was like they come off the bench. He was facilitating once he got on the court.
Yeah. They were just more coach, man. They were just more coach, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was just listening to you, man. I heard that. I had to come in for a minute. I'm jumping back out though.
Oh man, it's good hearing from you, bro, man. No doubt, man. We're just sitting there chopping it up, man.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man, that's what I think about point guards, man. That's what I think about, man. I just think about how they was back then, man. Back then, man, they really took pride of being the leader of the team, and they wasn't trying to turn over the ball. They wasn't trying to be bigger than nobody. That's how it was how I grew up.
But he ain't who gonna do that to their homie though, bro? You know he down there. You know she right there. Like that's just like I said myself, I see it. I ain't gonna lie, off the top, I said that looked like, I'm gonna tell you what I put it on, bro. Somebody who like TC, like fucking with TC, and you already know how niggas feel. Like niggas, exactly. One of the homies wrote that shit, bro, because they want to look and they gonna use that on the wall to go and talk and tell her he can't be here. Look at this shit.
Yeah, but that's how it is though, man. That's what I think about the great point guard. They were just great floor generals, man. And I know analytics and everything like that's coming to play. Spacing has way more. The bigs now gotta be able to that to change, and basically now bigs, you 7 feet something and everything like that, you got to be able to shoot. Even if you have a mid range, these teams don't even want to seem like they don't even use their players now that have big men that have big range. They want you to shoot that 3, even though the mid range and even a 2-point shot is a better shot now. They make it seem like the 3-pointer is a better shot than the 2-point shot. You dig what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. Let me think of somebody else. I already said Chris Paul. Derrick Rose, of course. You got to mention Derrick Rose in there. Let me think. Gail Goodrich. I can't forget about the great Michael Ray Richardson. Who else? Somebody. Mo Cheeks. Dennis Johnson. Fat Lever. Sidney Moncrief. He was mostly a 2, but he could play the point though. I already said Chauncey. Oh, I can't forget Walt Frazier. If I want to take back, I already said Cousy. I said J Kidd in my mind. Yeah. Magic, I say Oscar. Um, Steph's just gonna be put up there anyway. Gabe Payton. Allen Iverson was really a point. He was really a two. Um, D Rose would have been up there in them rankings though to me if he would never got injured. He was on his way for them injuries. And took D Rose out. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of else. Some other. Oh, you can mention Kyle Lowry in there if you wanted to, because he does play point guard. Mm, oh yeah, the late great Derek Harper. The late great man, the great one. Man, I know he's not dead, but I said the late one, like old school generation. Um, I can mention him. I already mentioned the late great Pistol Pete. You know what I mean? Who revolutionized the game. Um, averaging 40 for a whole college career and assists was just crazy. And that was back then when they didn't even have a 3 pointer. You know what I mean? Back in the league, um, Jerry West as well. You would never know how much he would average either, because he used to shoot from way out there too, and it wasn't even counted for. Um, but my personal favorite one was what my personal favorite ones growing up in my generation. When I was growing up, of course, Magic he was tall, but I knew I was a 6'9". At that time, I was really short. I'm 6'1" now, but so I always liked it Isaiah Thomas, and I liked it Chris Jackson because he could shoot that three ball, shoot them daggers. Um, that's like the fat levers. The, they was defenders, and back then you had to know how to defend and move your feet and lead your team at the same time. Getting your people in position to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's what point guard is. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it meant. That's what I think of point guard. You know what I mean? Even Tony Parker, the late Tony Parker, was a bad man. He was a scoring guard. Yeah, it was a system, but he got it done. Chauncey Billups, um, um, even Damon Stoudemire, the late Damon Stoudemire, was a bad man too in his right. You know what I mean? Point guard, the evolution of the point guard has just it just changed. It's just changed. And it is what it is. Um, I don't do all these rankings of I don't do all these rankings of who the best point guard is and all this. I don't have a GOAT of all time, and I just ain't never. I just ain't never did the discussions. But anybody want to come on in, man? The link has been dropped, man. Never see check on Trick. I know.
I'm thinking on some other shit.
Yeah, he's busy. But anyway, yeah, man. Anybody want to hop on in and discuss point guards, man? Y'all come on in, man. This is gonna be my last stream that I'm doing tonight, man. Um, and then again, I don't hate on this era. I mean, you can't help what the year you was born, the era that you grew up in, and everything like that. It's unfair. But only thing that I'm saying is that I just don't have none of these players ahead of players that I've seen. I just don't, because they ain't. The eras is totally changed. You can't be nowhere near physical like you can and where the 80s and 90s, knock motherfuckers out, clear out the motherfucker air. You know what I mean? And still be in the ball game. You know what I mean? It's that's how. And then now it's just you can't get physical with them. It's just hard to really guard these players, and that's why the players that do actually play defense, and I repeat myself, the players who really do play defense, I salute those who really play defense, because to play in this era, I'd be mad as fuck, especially because I was a defensive minded person when I was playing. I could score too, but I'm like, dang, I can't do this, I can't do that. But I still be able to. I know I'll be able to figure it out. But that should be pissing. That shit would just piss you off though. At the same time, you know what I mean. So, um, anybody want to hop on in? And link has been dropped. Like I said, man, y'all want to talk about point guards, man? What y'all feel what a point guard is, man? I already did my due diligence and said what I had to say about it. Um, shoot, because a lot of these players, like I said, they're not point guards, man. They're not. They just come with the name. Nowadays, they try to have this positionless basketball, and to me, basketball went to the worst because I ain't never seen it in my life. So many arguments always based off of 3-point percentage. Whereas I grew up in an era where you had to play both sides of the ball. You had to play offense and you had to play defense. And I seen players play offense and they play defense on that was point guards on a high level for years. Every team that they went to, they shine. Made a the impact was instantly granted and received. You know, I don't have Trey Young on this list as a great point guard, but cause I gotta see more. I gotta see more of this. You know, I don't care about 2 or 3 years. Let me see you do it for a whole decade. Let me see you do at least do a 7, 8, 9, at least 7, 8, 9 year span for me to give you any kind of credit. Cause the ones I seen that they did it that, and did it even longer. Of course, it's gonna be wear and tear and injuries and everything like that though too. So, but when I think of point guards, that's what I think of. I think of the greats. that I seen that played on the all-time level. You just got to rewind it back, um, and all this other stuff. But yeah, it's been good chopping it up with y'all, man. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just end this one, man. And I'll come back to this some other time. Peace, love, and happiness to everybody. And the next time y'all hear from me will be on my channel for New Year's. But anybody else, I'm gonna still support y'all and listen from the background, you know, because that will help gets me through my work days. You know what I mean? Even those who does the little short little videos and stuff like that, I'm still listening to everybody, man. Like that's for real. Y'all out there, I just pray greatness. I pray blessings. I pray for favor. I pray for everything for my brothers and my sisters and for your kids as well for this next coming year. And just be better. Make better decisions and better choices, man. Because no matter what, we're never too old or young to learn and understand things. I don't think I know everything. I learn every day. I learn from y'all. I learn from people of all ages. No matter what somebody say, there's always something else, somebody say that's actually truthful. You got to figure out what part of that actually they said to you that's actually truthful. All right, and I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a good one. You have a great night. I'm about to go ahead and just shut it down for the night. I'll holler at y'all next year. Please be safe. Peace.